Hi everyone, I've got a Nintendo DS, used Nintendo DS that I have to change the hinge on and clean. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Firstly, the hinge. So it actually clicks into place, which is good, both positions. But there is a little bit of play here. So you can see I shake it and the hinge is not staying in position. Now, that's because this piece is starting to fail, the plastic's starting to erode away, and that needs changing. I do have a spare here from another console that I had, but it's slightly off colour, so ever so slightly. This one does need a clean as well, so I'll clean this up and add this in. Now, just to show a good condition hinge, I've got another console here, nice navy blue. The navy blue, no issue with the hinge there. If I can shake it, there's nothing rattling around. And you can see side by side, if you compare them, that this blue one is slightly below. I think you can see that maybe on the camera. Let's see. Yeah, it's just slightly below, which means it's starting to wear. So let's get a fixing for that. Okay, first things first, we need to remove a number of screws from the back of the Nintendo. You want to start off with a tri-head screwdriver. I've got a 1.5 millimeter, which serves me well for this purpose. You've got 3 long screws, 2 in here, and then 1 in the battery compartment. So let's start with these. Okay, the battery compartment requires a crosshead. Again, 1.5 millimeter. Let's take this out. Now, I can never seem to get these out, so I always have to shake the back. Is that it? There we go. All right, we've got that out, and the battery. So the battery, again, I just have to shake the battery out. And we can see inside here we have, down this hole, we've got a tri-head. Let's see, can I get that over there? We've got a tri-head down this hole. I've just taken out 2 from here and here. We've got 1 more tri-head, and we also have this crosshead here we have to take out. This one we don't. That keeps the motherboard attached, so we want to keep that in for now. So let's go ahead and remove these screws. Okay, and the last one we have hiding in here. Just here we have it. Tri-head again, so we can use the same screwdriver. There we go. Let's see, can I get it out magnetized now? There we go. All right. Good. So we're only left with 2 more, which are hidden under the feet. Now, this feet, it is slightly sticky, but we should be able to get under there, no problem. Like so. Up. Set them to one side. Again, the other feet. Other foot. The other foot. I am English, so I should be able to speak correctly. There we go. All right, we see it's a crosshead. So going back in with my crosshead. All right, now sorry, focus in, focus on that. I'll probably speed up the unscrewing sections as I really go slow, going normal speed on this. Okay, nice. All right. So we have our, see that there. We have our screws up at the top, and all the feet off. And one thing to remember is we have to take out the pen and the GBA slot, otherwise we can't remove the back. All right, so removing the back, you can pull it up. It should come off quite nicely. I can see here it's already coming off there. I do have a little plastic spatula-y tool that I like to get in the sides. So it'll just bring it around and you'll hear some pops. as the plastic clips come apart. Relatively easy there. Okay, so inside the part we've just taken off, you've got the volume, no, is that the volume? The power toggle and the volume toggle here. Now the volume always falls out, so I don't know about this one, but it slides over and then it really easily comes out. So sometimes you turn it upside down and it just drops on the floor. But actually this one stays in quite well, so that seems fine. I'm going to set that to one side. Here we have the motherboard, right. So a few things to note on the motherboard. We have 2 wires. Let's see if we can zoom in on those. Here are the wires. Oh, you can't see one of them. It's hiding under this L button. So let's take that L button out. You want to make sure your fingers at the back, because the spring there, it fires off and you lose everything. Luckily I've got it. Yeah, this is the spring. That's the spring. They can fire off, so make sure you're holding your finger at the back, so that when you pull it up, yeah, it flicks into your finger. It's a little painful, but it's okay. Now, the motherboard, we have this Wi-Fi chip. I see a lot of people take them off. I don't. They're a bit sticky. I don't bother taking them off. I don't know if that affects anything. I can just remove this cable, this black cable and this white cable, without removing the Wi-Fi chip. And we also have this little clip here, which is the digitizer screen for the bottom screen. So, because I have these nice tweezer things, I can get underneath that and pop it up like so. And the same with these two here. I can get underneath these quite easily and pop them up. One, and then the second one here. One of them is the microphone and one of them is maybe an infrared chip. I'm not too sure actually. Perfect. Let's zoom out here. Okay, right, so what do we have? We've removed these 2 wires, and we've also disconnected the digitizer. Now, the main goal here is we have to change the hinge. So to get at the hinge, we want to get here, under this. Now, it's as simple as lifting it up. Now, some people don't disconnect these, but I do, just in case. So especially this digitizer, because you don't want that to rip. Oh, if this digitizer rips here, that's just a hassle. You've got to order a new one. And ribbon cables are so delicate, so I disconnect. It's only a quick thing to do. So here we have our 2 screws there. So just to flip this over, this is actually where the hinges we're changing. It's inside here. We've got to change this plastic bit. Okay, so to get the board up, we need to remove 2 screws. So the first one is here, crosshead screw. The second is here. Okay, nice. So now we can lift up the board slightly, but in order to lift it up, you want to push the back bottom screen. So you want to push this in. Now, if you just lift up the motherboard, there is a ribbon cable that's still attaching the bottom screen, and that could rip. So you want to make sure you're just pushing up like this, and it should come up. There's sometimes these clips get a bit stuck. There we go. All right, we're up. Okay, nice. So let's just bring it up a bit more. And then, come on. Not the right angle. There we go. Okay. Nice, that's all we need to do really, and we could get access to these screws here. So let's zoom in on this. All right, we're just going to take off these 2 screws. Okay. Sometimes there are different types of screws in these and the different types of hinges. And this is a long screw here. Now, this is the screw from the back. This is the long screw. And I'm just going to check if I've got an example of the other type of screw you can find in these hinges. I've got a whole box of screws next to me from other Nintendos, but none that show the other type of hinge. So it must have been a slight model change at some point. But this is good because my replacement hinge requires the long screws. Sometimes you get a screw length which is in between these 2. And if that's the case, the hinge doesn't fit. Let's set these aside. Unscrew the second one. So let's see if we can take this hinge off. I'm just gonna push this back in like that. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's already come off. Okay, let's get a closer look on that. So we have this hinge which has just come off. We do also have a metal hinge inside here, but this metal hinge doesn't really fail. It's actually the plastic inside of this section. So let me check if I can zoom in on this. Yeah. All right. How can I? Where's my tweezers gone? Here they are. Let's just move that out of the way. All right. So a bit of a dirty hinge. Now this is the broken hinge, and I have an example. Well, this blue one of a good hinge. I also have another good hinge that I can show, a black one. This black one might be even better. So if I show these side by side, the camera's finding it difficult to pick it up, but the hinge is worn away. The blue hinge is more worn away, and that's causing the looseness. Now, if the hinge was totally broken, there would be a lot of wearing away here. I do have a completely broken hinge over there, another Nintendo DS, but I can show that in another video of a completely stripped away hinge on the inside. So it's this plastic will eventually rub away, and you just need to replace with another hinge. Now obviously the black one won't match the colour. I have just this slightly faded blue one, which I'm okay with using at the moment. So I'm going to put this one in and see how the Nintendo DS looks after that. Okay, so put the hinge up. Let's get it in first. We have to slot it in. Like so. Okay. Now let's see what that looks like. So the colour's quite different. It is quite a different colour, but I'm okay with that at the moment because this DS is not perfect condition. The reason being the screen has a few white dots on it. So I actually will sell this online on my shop, and these sell for about $10 or $12 cheaper than a good quality Nintendo DS, as I like to call them, a better, more cleaner Nintendo DS. This black one or this blue one here, with really pristine, this one. But this one here has a few spots on the screen, and this hinge is miscolored. I will clean it up later in this video, but I don't really want to sell a Nintendo DS at the same price as that blue one if it's not up to the standard. Okay, so let's screw this in. I'll speed this section up. Okay, put this middle back in. These blue bits, there we go, push it down. And then we want to screw the motherboard back into place. The smaller screws like this. Don't mistake it for these gold, bronze looking ones. This is for the feet and this is for the motherboard. If you put this gold one inside one of the motherboard holes, it will pop through the other side. Not a good cosmetic look. I've done it once before and I won't do it again. Okay, let's connect these clips back up. It might be overkill undoing them, but I prefer to, especially this digitizer one. You probably could have kept the white and black cable plugged in. Videoing that? Wow, okay. Didn't think I was videoing all that. That took me a long time to get in. That took me quite a few minutes. The ribbon was bent, so it was quite hard to push in. Right, and we've just got this white cable left, so that goes here. Like so. Okay, good. Now, I just want to test the hinge work, so let's flip it over. Zoom out on this. Not too bad of a colour, but let's check. Does the hinge work? Right, let's check for play. Not really much there. A tiny, very tiny bit possibly, but no, not really. Yeah, it's almost perfect, really. Yeah, good. That's the hinge fixed. Now, I want to put it back together. Just checking this in case it needs a clean. Now, it does need a clean, but I probably could clean it when the piece is back together. However, I might clean it now. Would be easier to clean it now. Let's do that. Same with these buttons. These buttons definitely need a clean. Just look how much dirt they've got on them from people playing. And likewise, I imagine the buttons inside, yeah, they've got dirt on them. But I can do that when the console's back together. I've already tested the functionality. The buttons work fine. Works fine. L and B work fine. Let me do that. Let me get some cleaning items. Okay, like so. Spring should be on the inside, not on the outside. And then in, and you'll hear the click. It's clicking. We have this spring we need to put inside this little blue bit here. So how I do that is, let's zoom in on that. I get my tweezers, I hold the silver bit at the top, and I get my tweezers and I just bend it round and in. There we go, like so. Now we have our clicking. Perfect. I'm going to go do the other side. Speak something to watch it again. Okay, bend it round. I'll do some left hand now. Can't do that. Switch it. Okay, go right hand. There we go. Left hand to jump. Good. They're back together. That's like clicking. Now, on to the last step of reassembly. Okay, so this is very important, putting on the back case. Now, this back case is dirty. I am just going to clean it with the magic eraser, actually. There we go, looks good. All right, now attaching the back. So the main things we have to make sure is the power button here lines up with the power button, this little black bit here. This will always be in the down position because it's spring loaded. So you have to make sure that this is also in the down position. If it's in the up position, you're going to snap. You're going to snap your black bit off, which I've done. And I won't do that again. Same for the volume. Now the volume on the bottom right, I find it easier to put on the right side and then slide this over to the right side. It just seems, the angle I put it on, it seems easier. So I'm going to attach this now. Oh, I will do. I should wipe off the water first. Any residue on that. Right, let's go and... Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to clean the inside of this as well. Here. Let me check, is that clean? Oh, it does look quite clean, actually. Not perfect though. You do want to clean the inside, but I might do that in a later video on these rims here. Let's try again. Yep, line them up and put it on. And then it should click down. Should do. There we go. Clicks in like so. Voila. We're back. We are back. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, I'm going to screw this in, speed it up, add all the screws back, and then we'll check out what it looks like when I'm finished. Right, perfect, there we go. So, we've replaced the hinge. No, I'll give it a quick. I'm going to get a quick over with the magic eraser, just to clean that up. And top section. Don't get too wet, otherwise a lot of water comes out. Just a little bit so you can dry it up. Or it evaporates, you know, the damage it. There we go. Alright, let's look at that. Looking pretty good now. Looking pretty clean. Yeah. There's obviously a mismatch of colour, but like I say, this is not, as I like to say, an A grade console. This is a B grade, and the reason is, if I open it up, now the hinge is fixed, and I switch it on. Oh, but I do need the battery. Let's put the battery in. So, battery in, and let's turn it on. All right, we're working. It's in Japanese. I live in Japan. This is a Japanese Nintendo. By default, when you plug the battery in, it comes up with the Japanese language, but you can change it. Now, what you see on the top screen is 3 white specks. 1, 2, 3. So this console, I believe, was water damaged because I'd already replaced the motherboard, which had water damage marks. From my reading online, this could be evaporated water at points, but it's so minor. You can, once the game's plugged in, you can't really tell, but it's not something I want to grade as an A. And I've just realised we need to clean the inside. But that's the hinge fixed. I'm going to clean the inside, and then I will show you the finished product. But this is what it looks like at the moment. It looks good. Plays games. No issues there. Let's plug in a game and test it, just so I can show you the little impact on the screen. So, oh, here we have the setup. I do change these to English before I sell them. I don't set the dates or anything. I suppose I could do, but I just click through as fast as I can because I always take out the battery, take it in and out. Yep, blah, 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 Japanese. Okay, perfect. Let's plug in the game and turn on. All right, so those 3 bright specks, they actually do change color. So they're not stuck pixels, as you can see. They're not stuck pixels, they're not dead pixels. And as soon as the screen's on, look at that, you can't even see them. But yeah, I'm listing this on my website, so please take a look. And thanks for watching, everyone. See you next video. Goodbye.